Hi guys, Dr. Hughes here, just to talk to you a little bit about how in the world you get a degree from Georgetown College. Well, one thing that you'll do that's essentially two things. So you have to complete what's called the Foundations and Core requirement, and I'll go over that in a second. There's a worksheet to walk you through, and I've developed a quiz so that you can look at and pick the different courses that you want to take to satisfy that part of your degree. And the second thing you'll need to do is to declare and take the courses for a major and a minor. And the list of majors and minors can be found in the course catalog. So maybe you have a physical copy of the book, but also the online course catalog. And I'll show you where that is too, and we'll kind of look at those. All right, so first let's talk about the Foundations and Core checklist. So if you share the screen, oops. So I will post this on our Canvas page, but it's essentially a worksheet that you could print out and fill out if you would like, and it's the Foundations and Core requirements. So this is essentially the liberal arts education for your degree. Okay, so what you see is you have the foundations courses that you're already in Foundations 111, and in the spring you'll have to enroll in Foundations 112. There'll be a list of different courses with different topics you can take, so you just pick one that interests you. There's definitely some science courses, some business courses, all kinds of different courses. So you'll get a list and pick the Foundations 112 class you would like. So these are the foundations requirements. So essential proficiencies, you'll make sure that, we'd like for you to be able to read, write, and speak, and know a little bit about health. So reading and writing, so you'll need to be enrolled in English 111 and take English 112 or Honors 200. So in the springtime, you'll take either of those courses. If you're in the Honors program here, you'll take Honors 200. If you are not, you'll just take English 112. Quantitative, you'll have to take at least one math course at or above Math 107. There's a few different ones to choose from. There's like elementary statistics, pre-calculus, algebra, trigonometry, statistics, like probability and statistics for kind of non-majors or non-science majors, so stuff like that. So you'll just have to take at least one math class higher than Math 107, and you'll have to be proficient in a language through the 200 level course, so 201. So you could take French, German, Greek, Japanese, Latin, or Spanish. So you'd pick a language you'll have to take at least through level 201. Okay. You also will need to take the KHS Wellness course. It's a 1-hour course. I believe it meets once a week, KHS 100, before you graduate, right? These are all things you have to do before you graduate to get the degree. You don't take all this in one semester. So piece it out over 4 years. Okay. The other thing is part of the core. So that was the foundation. So this is the Foundations and Core checklist. So those are the foundations that you build upon. And now we look at the core proficiencies. There are different writing and cultural awareness flags that you need to get, and certain courses have those designated with them. Many of the writing courses you can get a writing flag for. That just means that there's extra writing in that course that you'll have to do, like some essays, and work on that foundations that you learned about writing in your English courses and in your Foundations 111, 112 courses. Then there's also, you'll have to get, before you graduate, 2 cultural awareness flags. And these are courses that get marked with the letter C for cultural awareness. So those are some flags. So you need 2 of each of those before you graduate. Plenty of time to get those flags. Don't worry about trying to get them this semester. In fact, the writing flag, you have to take at least, you have to have already finished 112 before you can get a writing flag. And then even then, you can't have 2 writing flags in one semester. So there's a couple little nuancy rules there. But again, not to worry about it right now, just to make you aware that there's a rule about the writing flag. Okay, so now there are 5 areas of inquiry, or AOIs, that you'll have to take. All right, the first area of inquiry is fine arts. So you need to choose 2 courses from 2 different departments. So art, music, theater, or you can take Spanish 327. So I've created this quiz in Canvas that you'll take, and it links you to the course catalog where you can look and see what all these numbers, what all the titles of these courses are, but you need to pick 2 courses from 2 different departments for the area inquiry 1 for art. So you could take, for example, Art 115, which I believe is drawing, and Theater 107, which is either theater appreciation or maybe intro to acting, right? Or you could take Music 147 and Art 220, right? You just have to pick 2 courses from 2 different departments to satisfy the AOI 1, which is our fine arts, right? Liberal arts education means you've kind of spread your knowledge amongst all different things, and this is helping you do that. Okay, area 2 is humanities. You must choose 3 courses in the 3 different subject areas. So you pick 1 course from history that you want to take, 1 course from philosophy, and 1 course about Western and world literature. Okay. This is where you see a lot of those writing flags in the Western and world lits and some of the upper level history and philosophy courses. So you can just keep your eye out on that when you're looking at the course catalog. You should see a W, which would indicate it also carries a writing flag. So anyway, so for example, you could take History 111, Philosophy 195, and English 213. Or if you're choosing, right, you could take History 223, Philosophy 150, and Japanese 320. It just totally depends on what courses you want to take. And again, I've links to the course catalog so you can figure out what courses these numbers correspond to. All right, area inquiry 3 is social and behavioral sciences. You must choose 2 courses in 2 different areas. So you have communications and media studies, economics, political science, psychology, and sociology. Again, just 2 courses in 2 different departments. So you could take Psych 111 and Com 312, or you could do Soc 218 and Econ 221, which is maybe macro or microeconomics. Just depends on what you want to study, what you're interested in, and what you'd like to find out more about. All right, area inquiry 4 is the natural sciences, one that I'm a part of. You have to take 2 courses in 2 different departments, and one of those courses must have a lab. All right, so you can take Biology 100 or 111. I think both of those courses have a lab. You could take Chemistry 100 or 111, which both of those courses have a lab. Chem 102 does not have a lab, and I teach Chem 100 and 102 online. 171, 271, all these up here, those actually should be taken off of the list. But next you can take Geology 113, or you can take Physics 105, 115, so on and so forth. So again, you have to take 2 courses in 2 different departments. So you could take maybe Biology 100, which has a lab, and then you could take my Chem 102 course that doesn't have a lab associated with it. Or you could take Geology 113. I'm not sure if that has a lab or not. The course catalog will say for sure if it does. And Physics 105, right? So 2 different courses from 2 different departments. That satisfies area of inquiry number 4. Area of inquiry number 5 is religious studies. So you have to take 2 courses, and one of which must be one of these biblical studies courses. Okay, one has to be this course, and the second course you can take could either be another biblical studies course or one of these courses listed here. Okay, so you just have to pick 2 courses that you would like to take. And again, I've linked to the course catalog for the religion department so you could see what all these numbers mean. And that is kind of it. A little more information down here I would suggest you taking a look over. But that is essentially the foundations and core checklist. So that's where you build up that liberal arts education, where you are proficient in writing, mathematics, language, and then you have those different areas of inquiry that you've gained some knowledge from these 5 areas. So religious studies, natural sciences, social and behavioral sciences, humanities, fine arts, and fine arts is the last one. Okay, so that's the foundations and core part of the degree. So you'll have to complete that checklist in order to obtain your degree from Georgetown College. The second thing you'll have to do is you'll have to take all the courses required for a major and a minor, or one interdisciplinary major. I don't know exactly off the top of my head how many interdisciplinary majors there are on campus, but I can tell you about the science one. So for example, you could major in chemistry and minor in biology, or you could major in chemistry and minor in English, or major in English and minor in biology, or you could major in political science and minor in physics, or, you know, or major in art and minor in theater, major in art and minor in English. There's all those different types of majors and minors you get to pick. And majors typically are around 30 to 50 hours and minors are around 18 hours, typically. Interdisciplinary majors kind of like marry two very well together. So again, I can speak for the sciences that I know biochemistry is an interdisciplinary major because we take a lot of chemistry and a lot of biology courses. So there's no need to take a minor. In the course catalog, under the degree that you're choosing, it should state whether or not it is considered an interdisciplinary major or minor. No, sorry, not minor, just major. Okay, so what I'll ask you to do is to take a second quiz on Canvas that is picking, not necessarily, you don't have to declare or pick a major that you know for sure you're gonna do, because most of you might not know what major and minor you want, but I ask of you to at least pick one that might interest you and devise the list or write the list of the courses that are required. I'm gonna flip right here in this book super quick. So when you go into the course catalog, and I'll link you to the online version, which let's just do that instead of holding this paper one. So let's share my screen again. Sorry. Share screen, let's do this, let's share. Okay, so if you go to the course catalog, and I'll put a link up on the quiz for this, you can really, if you just look at the departments, these are essentially all of the majors, essentially, not every single one, but all of the majors you could possibly have here. So you could major in American Studies, Art, Asian Studies, Biology, Chemistry, Christian Leadership, Classics, Data Analysis, Econ, Engineering Arts, English, not Foundations, but French. Again, not all of them have majors associated with them. Japanese, I don't know if actually you can major in that. Sociology for sure, theater and film, world languages. Anyway, so you get the idea. So you can click on this and you can see what the different courses are. Well, can't major in that. You could major in math. All right, so here's all those math courses. Okay, so at least this gives you an idea, a springboard of ideas of what you could major or minor in. Okay. Once I think you've kind of figured that out, what I would suggest you do is go to the undergraduate programs. Okay, here's where you want to be. You want to be at the undergraduate program. So accounting, you can get a bachelor's of science. You can major and minor in accounting. Art, you could major and minor in art. Asian studies, you can only minor in it. Athletic training, they have a pre-professional track. Biochemistry, see it says interdisciplinary major. That means you don't have to have a minor. Biology, you could major or minor. Biomedical sciences is a major. Child development is an interdisciplinary minor only. So this is where we want to be. This is what I was looking for. Computer science, you can minor in it. So here's where you can kind of get an idea of what would you want to major or minor in. Let's say you decide you want to major in education, since I'm right here. If we click on education, it talks a little bit about the program type, and then right here you can go to major in education, and this tells you that it's core courses, it's 46 hours are required, and here is a list of all of the courses you are required to take. Now for the quiz, once you find your, and you need to also see there's allied courses as well. So there's 9 hours of allied courses. So you need to take these 2 math courses and this kinesiology course, and at least a little more for this major. So you need to select at least 4 hours or 2 courses. So you need to take art education, public school music, or creative dynamics and children's theater. So those are some nuances to that one degree for sure. But what you could do for your quiz is if you zoom out super far and you take a screenshot of this, that's what you can upload for what courses are required for your major. I will also ask you what courses you want for your minor. And if your major you choose is interdisciplinary, you can just simply answer, I've chosen an interdisciplinary major. But if we go back to this area, let's look at a different one. If we want to if we want to major in Psychology, here we go. Let's major in psychology. All right, so I'm gonna look at what the major requirements for are in psychology. So they require 12 core courses, psych, general psych, you know, stats for psych, experimental psych, and senior psych. Then they have some required course selection. So 12 hours are required. So group 1 selects 6 hours or select 2 of these courses. So you'd pick 2 courses from here. You'd pick 2 courses from group 2, right? Select 6 hours or 2 courses. So I'd pick 2 of these courses here. And then elective courses, you need to select 9 additional credit hours in psychology courses. So probably likely you can come up here and pick 3 more courses of anything. All right, so that's how you would get your major in psychology. If you wanted to minor in psychology, that's on the same page where it tells you what do you need to do to minor in psychology. So you have to take the core course, which is general psychology, and then you need to take 15 additional credit hours in psychology courses, which that just means you need to take 5 additional psych courses. So again, see how minors tend to be around 18 hours and majors tend to be between like 30 and 50 hours. All right, so that kind of explains it. So I'll link you to, that is undergraduate programs, is where you can kind of look and see what can I major and minor in, or what's interdisciplinary. And then the course catalog, as I've linked you to in the quiz, so you can see what all those different numbers mean for the foundations and core checklist. I have one more video, which is Alex explaining how to access your G degree, so you can create your own major minor, plan. So check that one out as well.